New tonight, we're hearing for the first time new stories of survival as the park fire tore through Cohasset last summer. Well, Action News Now anchor Hayley Watts spoke to a member of the Cohasset Bucket Brigade about how the grassroots group helped save homes and lives.
It was a nightmare. It was totally doomsday.
Yeah.
You know, the explosions and everything from propane.
It's been 6 months, but Seth Mitchell still gets emotional when he recounts his battle to save Cohasset and the people who call it home.
We didn't have sleep. We barely ate.
Mitchell's Cohasset Bucket Brigade had just held a meeting in mid-July to plan for a potential devastating wildfire. He had no idea one would hit them just 10 days later.
We had measures in place to protect infrastructure, to get residents out, to evacuate people, and also to fight fire.
When the park fire came roaring through, Mitchell worked with Jonathan Tian of the volunteer company of Cohasset. They had their plan, but that didn't make the crisis any less terrifying.
Saw the fire NATO cloud in the Big Cheeker Creek drainage. We did not see what was coming in the Rock Creek drainage, which snuck up behind us. And when we saw two fire NATO clouds, we knew that we were in trouble.
The small team got to work, and fast.
We went through and cut some fire breaks. We got water in place. We got the community center up and running, generators 24/7 at certain places that were strategic.
Do you feel like people waited too long to leave?
No, they basically did not know that the fire was going to travel that fast, that quick.
Okay.
Mitchell says about 3/4 of the community got out when the evacuation order went out. Next, he focused on setting up resources.
My house, which had internet and Wi-Fi for residents that were up there, okay, and we had networks of micro-populations that stayed.
Okay.
And we would supply them with food and gasoline so that they would keep going.
111 gallons of gasoline to be exact. They had eyes on the situation at all times as the fire moved through Rock Creek Canyon.
I went out there on night patrol, and I didn't get sleep for 2 or 3 days.
Ultimately, hundreds of buildings were lost in Cohasset. Countless pets and wildlife, too.
It was a very tough fight.
Okay.
Because we kind of felt like we were alone.
But every person in that community survived.
The fact that you had this plan in place, right? Do you feel like this is a success story and a lesson that can be learned?
Absolutely. I preach to all the communities. I've been to every mountainous community in Butte County. The need for volunteer services is extreme.
That was Hayley Watts reporting. Now, CAL FIRE says there are more than a dozen volunteer regional companies in Butte County, like the small one in Cohasset that Mitchell worked alongside. These volunteers staff the water tenders for Butte County Fire Department.